our job is to understand the law so we can properly apply the law. So when I understand what's called the law of confession, when I understand what I release out of my mouth is going to come to pass, I'm going to be very careful what I speak. Some people looking for a job say, I never find a job. I don't know why. I'm always broke. And my favorite, y'all, if it ain't one thing, it's another. Y'all heard people say that? How does that apply to y'all? If it ain't one blessing, it's another. If I'm not getting blessed over here, I'm getting blessed over there. If I'm not experiencing favor here, I'm experiencing favor there. I don't know who I'm talking to. Y'all, I guess I need a mirror so I can talk to myself. But I'm experiencing God's favor on a continual basis. Y'all ever went somewhere and a stranger paid for y'all's meal?
Amen. Come on.
Yeah. Anybody went somewhere and somebody paid for your groceries? Somebody say, I'm blessed and highly favored. See, we got to decree a thing, but see, sometimes we lose by default. If you're not actively releasing words, you lose by default. Talking about the power of words, it's amazing. Most of us know the story of David and Goliath. Goliath is this big warrior. David is this cutie boy. So the giant released threats against David, but the amazing thing is how David responded. David said, I'm going to cut your head off. What did he have in his hand? He had rocks and a sling. How do you cut somebody's head off with rocks? What he done is he released it in the atmosphere. Oh, y'all got to get this. I'm trying to help somebody. When you release things in the atmosphere, somebody said what you release in the atmosphere will cause the world to conspire with you. I'm preaching better than y'all responding. I don't know if y'all tired or what. I'm cool. Y'all can just listen while I have my own conversation. So what you release in the atmosphere will cause things to come to pass. So here was David. He was coming against an enemy, coming against something greater. I don't know if y'all ever faced something that was greater than you all, something that was threatening, something that was bothering you at night. But the enemy released the word, and the enemy said, I'm going to cut your head off. But David said, with 5 stones in his hand, in his pocket, he said, I'm going to cut your head off. And he used what he had to do the natural and allow God to do the supernatural. Sometimes we're waiting on God to do the supernatural, but we're not doing the natural. How many know God don't want any lazy Christians? We got to do what we can do and trust him to do the rest. So he released his words in the atmosphere, and he released what he had in his hand, and it gave him just the advantage he needed. When the giant fell, he said, I'm going to cut your head off, but he didn't have a sword in his hand. But when he released what he had in the natural, that gave him the opportunity to go and do what he had released in the atmosphere. Come on, say, I got power in my words. As a person thinketh in their heart, so is he. But as you think in your heart comes out of your mouth. And that sets the course for your future. But when you deal with how you see yourself, by default, you will deal with what comes out of your mouth. So when you change how you see yourself, you'll change what comes out of your mouth. When you change what comes out of your mouth, you'll change your future.
Amen.
I didn't get there, but Zacharias, the angel came. I might pick it up another time. Angel came. Said, your prayers have been heard. Something he was praying for. The angel said, I'm Gabriel. I'm God's personal messenger. God told me to come release this word. And he said, I'm too old. Now the angel has to do something because he's sent from God. The word says his word won't return void, but the angel understands the power of confession. Zacharias said, I'm too old, but the angel's got to go back to God because he's been sent on assignment. Zacharias said, I'm too old. The angel said, I better shut your mouth before you mess up my assignment and have God talking to me crazy.